Hey YouTubers, so welcome back to part two of the Queens Redesign Bus Network. Um, I'm here to talk about the routes changes and new routes and which bus depots is going to be assigned to the bus routes. So the last time I was talking about the Q32, I had received some additional new information that if the MTA is going to do some changes with the Q32, I was suggestion I had suggested that I think they should eliminate the Q33 and extend the Q32 from Roosevelt 81st Street and have it continue on to 83rd and then pick up where the Q33, you know, continue. Considering they might have the Q32 go into LaGuardia Airport, which people will have a straight direct bus connection from Manhattan going right into LaGuardia Airport. So I think that would be a good deal there for people to especially the Q32 starts right into Midtown Manhattan where Penn Station is, and if someone wants to like getting off a train, they could just jump on the Q32, take it right straight into Queens, right into LaGuardia Airport, and then catch a plane if we was planning to go out of town somewhere. But so if that was to happen, the Q32 would be assigned to LaGuardia Depot or Casey Stengel Depot, and then it would be two depots operating on this line, and the third depot would be Michael J. Quell Depot from out of Manhattan. So those two depots, I think, would make sense. Coming um, LaGuardia Depot would add the buses from the Queen size, and then Michael J. Quell Depot would be adding the buses onto the line from Manhattan. So, but if the MTA decides to go that way, then those are the depots that will be assigned to the Q32 line. Coming up next is the Q33. Now, if MTA don't go with the extension of the Q32, then obvious the Q33 is going to be around for a while. So there's really not much changes to the Q33. The Q33 will still be leaving from 74th Street Terminal, Roosevelt Avenue, and it would terminate at 95th Street, Dick Marks Boulevard. So the depot that'll be assigned to that route will be LaGuardia Depot. Next was the Q35. Q35 will be departing from Rock Park, Rockaway Park, and then it'll be going to Flatbush Avenue to Borough Court. Oh, to Brooklyn College. Brooklyn College. So that'll be the Q35 from Rockaway Park to Flatbush Flatbush Avenue, going to Brooklyn College, and that line will be assigned to JFK Far Rockaway Depot. Next up is the Q37. Q37 will be starting out from Union Turnpike, Kew Garden Road, and it will be extended to Lefferts Boulevard and 133rd Avenue. To Lefferts and 133rd Avenue, and that would be assigned to JFK Far Rockaway Depot. Next up is the Q38. Q38 will be starting at 62nd Street Drive and 108th Street, and it will be extended to Middle Village, Fresh Pond Road. Fresh Pond Road will terminate for the Q38, and Q38 will be assigned to College Point Depot. Next is the Q39. Q39 Q39 will be extended to Astoria and 2nd Street. Astoria, 2nd Street, and 26th Avenue. And then it will be going to 69th Street, Grand Avenue, it would terminate. So that'll be the Q39. And the Q39 will be assigned to LaGuardia Depot. Next is the Q40. Q40 will be departing from departing from 88th Avenue, Sufton Boulevard, and it will be going to 143rd Street and 135th Avenue. 143rd Street and 135th Avenue. And the Q40 will be assigned to JFK Far Rockaway Depot. Now, I gave y'all some history about the JFK Far Rockaway Depot. Those depots used to be by the private bus line, Green Bus Line. LaGuardia Depot used to be operated by Triborough Coach. That was at the time when it was a private bus line. So that's now the LaGuardia Depot, run by the MTA Bus Company. College Point Bus Company was operated by Queen Surface Corporations, which before then was Queens Transit, Steinway Transit. So that's the College Point Depot. The Command Bus Company, that is now the Spring Creek Depot under the MTA. New York's bus service, that's East Chester Depot in the Bronx. That was the private line in the Bronx, New York bus service. Yonkers Depot, that's Liberty Line. Liberty Line is on Yonkers Depot, and Baisley Park was by Jamaica Bus Industries. Jamaica Bus Industries. That is Baisley Park Depot. run by the MTA bus company. Okay, up next is the Q42. The Q42 will be at will be starting at Van Wyck and 89th Avenue, and then it will be going to Surrey, and 180th Street, Surrey and 180th Street, and the Q42 would be assigned to Jamaica Depot. On Q43, Q43 will be starting out at Sufton and Archer, Sufton Boulevard and Archer, and it will be going to Long Island Jewish Hospital, 271st Street. Long Island Jewish Hospital and 271st Street. That would be the Q43, and the Q43 will be assigned to Queens Village Depot. Okay, next is the Q44. Now I'm gonna talk about this a little bit. So the Q44 will be departing from 165th Street, Archer in Jamaica, and now what MTA wanted to do is extend the Q44 in the Bronx from the Q44 SBS. SBS is for select bus service. They want to extend the Q44 SBS from the Bronx Zoo to Fordham Plaza. So now, there was some new talk about MTA might consider extending the Q44 from Jamaica and just have it going straight into JFK Airport air train Lefferts Boulevard. So I think that would be a good move if MTA decides to do that, extend the Q44 into JFK Airport, so people from the Bronx can have a straight bus direction going into JFK right from Fordham Plaza, and just have a nice quick ride going, from the Bronx into Queens right into JFK Airport. So if MTA decides to do that, the information I have that the Q44 SBS will be assigned to 3 depots. Casey Stengel Depot, which is in Queens. I guess they would add bus, which is in Flushing. So I guess they would add buses in the middle of the line. From the Jamaica end, it would be buses would be from either Baisley Park Depot or JFK Far Rockaway Depot from Queens, and then from the Bronx will be West Farm Depot in the Bronx. So those will be the 3 depots that will be assigned to the Q44 SBS. Coming up next would be the Q45. Okay, so Q45 is a new line. It's not the old Q45 that used to be ran by Triborough Coach, and then it would be from 74th Street Terminal and then terminate at at Cooper Avenue, where the Cooper Avenue Regal Park Plaza Center is, where the mall is, right there on Cooper Avenue. So it's not that old Q45, so it's not that route. So this is a brand new route, and on this route will be operating from Archer and Sufton Boulevard to 40th Avenue and Little Neck Parkway. 40th Avenue, Little Neck Parkway. And that'll be the Q45. It'll be doing Q36 service. Q36 service. So Q36 will be eliminated, and the Q45 will take over for the Q36. And the Q45 will be assigned to Queens Village Depot. Coming up next is the Q46. The Q46 will continue from Queens Boulevard and 78th Avenue, and then it will be extended to Long Island Jewish Hospital, 271 271st Street. That's the Q46, and the Q46 will be assigned to Queens Village Depot. Q47. Okay, so now Q47 will be taking partial routes of the Q67, and okay, so the Q47 will be from LaGuardia Marine Terminal, Terminal A, LaGuardia Marine Terminal, Terminal A, and will be going to Metropolitan Avenue, Fresh Pond Road. It would terminate at so Q47 will be extended, and it will be going to Fresh Pond Road and Metropolitan Avenue. So that would be the Q47, and Q47 will be assigned to LaGuardia Depot. Next is the Q48. As I was saying in the previous video, the Q48 is not. This is a completely different Q48. This is not going to be the Q48 that used to go into LaGuardia Airport up 108th Street and Main Street Flushing. So this is not that Q48. This will be a different route. This will operate along Union Turnpike with the Q46. And the Q48 will start from Queens Boulevard, 78th Street, and it will go to Glen Oaks to 260th Street, Little Neck Parkway. 260th Street, Little Neck Parkway, and it would terminate. That would be the Q48. Q48 will be assigned to Queens Village Depot. Next is the Q49. Q49 will continue from 74th Street Terminal Roosevelt, and it will be extended to Astoria Boulevard and 108th Street to make connections to the Q23 bus. So that's the Q49. Q49 will be assigned to LaGuardia Depot. Next is the Q50. The Q50 is a new SBS service. The Q50 will be from Co-op City, Pelham Bay Park to LaGuardia Airport. So the Q50 will be the old Q50 Limited coming from Co-op City, but instead of terminating at Main Street and 39th Avenue, it will continue on to the Q48. It would be continue on like as the Q48, but going into LaGuardia Airport, and it would be a SBS service. It'd be a select bus service, the Q50. And the Q50 SBS would be assigned to Eastchester and LaGuardia Depot. Eastchester and LaGuardia Depot. So that'd be the Q50 SBS service. Next, we got the new Q51 SBS service. Okay, so the Q51 will be service in the middle of Queens. It'll be a crosstown route. It'll be starting out from 235th Street, Linden Boulevard, and then it will be going to Gateway Center. Gateway Center will terminate there. And the Q51 SBS will be assigned to JFK Far Rockaway Depot. Next is the Q52 SBS service. Q52 would be from Beach Channel, and Beach 54th Street to 75th Street Broadway. 75th Street Broadway will be the last stop for the so the Q 52 would be extended from Queens Boulevard, and it would be um going the same route as the Q 53 SBS, and it would terminate at the 74th Street Roosevelt terminal to make connections to the 7 train, the E, the F, the M, and the R trains. So that'll be the Q 52 SBS, and that would be assigned to a JFK Far Rockaway Depot. Next is the Q 53. Q 53, no basic changes except now when the Q 53 gets to 74th Street Terminal, that would be the last stop. The Q 53 SBS would no longer be going to 61st Street Woodside. So no longer it would be going there. So the Q 53 SBS will be from Rockaway Park, and it would continue from 116th Street, Rockaway Park, and then it would continue its regular route, and it would end at 74th Street Broadway bus terminal, and LaGuardia Depot will be assigned to that route. Next is the Q 54. Q 54 will be at Washington Plaza, Williamsburg Bridge, to 168th Street, Jamaica Ave. 168th Street, it would terminate at 168th Street, Jamaica. So that's the Q 54. Q 54 will be assigned to Fresh Pond Depot. Coming up next is the Q 55. Q 55 will be from Pomelo and Pomelo and Wackoff, and it will be going to terminating at 170 Street in Jamaica. 170 in Jamaica. So that'll be the Q 55. Q 55 will be assigned to Fresh Pond Depot. Coming up next is the Q 56. Q 56 will be operating from Broadway Junction, and we'll be going to terminating at 170 Street, Jamaica Avenue. 170 Jamaica Avenue, and that would be the Q 56. Q 56 will be assigned to East New York Depot. Okay, so now we have another new bus line, the Q57. Q57 will be from Rockaway and Liberty, and it will be going to Little Neck and Hillside, Little Neck and Hillside Avenue, Little Neck Parkway and Hillside Avenue, and that would be the Q57. So the Q57 is supposed to be like take over for the Q112, which the Q112 would not exist anymore. It'll be eliminated, and then it would continue straight down to Jamaica and take over for the Q110. So that'll be the Q57, and the Q57 will be assigned to Baisley Park Depot. Next is the Q58. Q58 will be from Palmetto and Myrtle, to 41st Road, Main Street. So that'll be the Q58. Q58 will be assigned to Fresh Pond Depot. Next is the Q59. Q59 will be from Williamsburg Bridge Plaza to Queens Boulevard and 62nd Drive. It will be extended to Queens Boulevard. It'll be terminating at Queens Boulevard and 62nd Drive. Q59 will be assigned to Grand Avenue Depot. Okay, Q60. Okay, I just have received some new info on the Q60. The MTA was going to keep the Q60 as it is, wasn't going to do no changes, but now they are considering extending the Q60 further into Manhattan from 2nd Avenue and have it terminating at 8th Avenue Port Authority Bus Terminal. So what the Q60 will do is extend from 2nd Avenue, continue on as the Q32 would, but when it gets to 5th Avenue, it'll make a right turn on 42nd Street, left turn on 7th Avenue, right turn on 41st Avenue, last stop 8th Avenue, Port Authority Bus Terminal. So MTA might extend the Q60 further into Manhattan. So there would be two Q60 buses. There would be a Q60 local, and then there would be a Q60 SBS service. So if they have a Q60 SBS service, they will put bus lanes on Queens Boulevard. They're considering putting bus lanes down the service road or Queens Boulevard from Union Turnpike up to Roosevelt Avenue. That's where the bus lanes will be, and that's if they decide to do that, or they might put the bus lanes in the middle of Queens Boulevard like they did on Woodhaven. Put the bus lanes right in the middle of Queens Boulevard. So they might do that as well. So if MTA does this, like I said, it will be two Q60s. A Q60 local will be assigned to JFK Far Rockaway Depot, and then only JFK Far Rockaway would do the Q60 local, and the Q60 SBS would be assigned to Michael J. Quell Depot. Michael J. Quell Depot will have the Q60 SBS. So that's for the Q60. Next up is another new bus line, the Q61. So Q61 will be taking over for the Q16 from from 39th Avenue, Union Street, and it would be going to hold on here. Okay, so on the Q61 will be from 39th Avenue, Union Street, and then it will terminate at Taunton Avenue and Cross Island Parkway. Cross Island Parkway would be the last stop for the Q61, and Q61 would be assigned to Casey Stengel Depot. Okay, so I forgot to mention before the Q33 would be a rush service bus. The Q35 would be a rush service. Q33 limited service. Q33 would be a limited service. Q35 would be a rush service bus line. Q37 would be local. Q38 local. Q39 local. Q40 would be a rush bus service. Q42 local. Q43 rush service. Q44 SBS Crosstown. Um, Q45 rush service. Q46 rush service. Q47 local. Q48 rush service. Q49 limited. Q50 Crosstown SBS. Q51 Crosstown SBS service. Q52 Crosstown SBS. Q53 Crosstown SBS. Q54 limited. Q55 local. Q56 local. Q57 local. Q58 limited. Q59 local. Q60 local, and Q60 SBS local Crosstown. Q61 would be a rush service bus. Q61 rush service. Okay, now coming up is another new bus line, the Q62. Q62 would be a rush service bus, and that also takes part of the Q16. Q62 will depart from 39th Avenue, Union Street, and it would terminate at Taunton Avenue and Cross Island Parkway, and that would be assigned to Casey Stengel Depot, and the Q62 would be a rush service bus, and and finally coming up is another new bus service, the Q63. Q63 would take over for the Q66 going down 35th Avenue. The Q66 will no longer go down 35th Avenue because Q66 will be strictly Northern Boulevard from Flushing. It would continue all the way down Northern Boulevard, down Jackson Avenue to Hunters Point, terminating at Hunters Point. So the Q's 63 service will start at 28th Street, Queens Plaza, and it would go up 35th Avenue, up Northern Boulevard, and then across Broadway, and it would terminate at Broadway and Queens Boulevard. Broadway, Queens Boulevard would be the last stop for the Q63, and the Q63 will be a local service, Q63 local service. So that's part two. I will come up later on with part three of the redesigned Queens Bus Network assigned depots. So if you like the video, please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe and leave your comments below. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Peace, everybody.